Blessings and peace to this is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Monday, December 15th, 2022. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can something good to happen. So make sure you focus on the things that give you joy and peace and love and all that good stuff, because it does not benefit you at to focus on the negative things. Well, this is a special episode. And first, I want to thank all of you for tuning in, because this is my first live video event. So I just want to thank you for tuning in. And the topic of this episode is keep achieving your goals. My guest speaker is author Dennis Scott. And the name of his book that we will be discussing is Stop, Your Dreams Are Knocking. A lot of us have goals and dreams, and sometimes, unfortunately, of us, we have procrastinated and we have allowed things to get in our way. But guess what? You're still here and you still can live your purpose. And so that's what we're going to talk about. So, like I said, I appreciate you for tuning in. But before we get started, I would like to remind you, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor. Thank you for your support and your donations. And also, I want to remind you, if you're out there traveling about, make sure that you are wearing your mask and using hand sanitizer. People are still becoming ill, y'all. So we have to do our part to stay safe and keep our family members safe. So, okay, we're going to start this episode, and I would like to bring Dennis into the stream. And hello, Dennis. How you doing?
Oh, SB, I'm doing well. How are you?
Look, this is the first of many video episodes, and so something we all got to get used to. And we had a little technical issues, but I'm good. I'm thankful, and I'm glad you are here.
Yes, me too.
Amen. So let's get into it. Your book, Stop, Your Dreams Are. Tell me about the motivation for this book.
Yeah, I love that word, motivation. Motivation has been part of my life from the start of writing books. I never thought that I would become a writer, author, until I just started writing. And as I was writing, I was just influenced by the Spirit of God just to keep writing. And I've learned, and I found myself enjoying my writing and to express on what's on my heart, that it will help others to live a better life, to live a life on purpose, to achieve whatever it is that they are reaching for, that's been on their hearts for some time now. So I'm motivated in helping people to see far better than where they are at today.
That's so awesome, because many of us, we all have dreams. We all have goals we want to achieve. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, we all have goals we want to achieve. And I think that we should always set new goals constantly, because we should always have something to look forward to. What do you think about that, Dennis? Set new goals all the time to have something to look forward to. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think wholeheartedly of that, because the fact is, when you set goals, it helps you to look for tomorrow. It brings excitement, as if, okay, I know that there's something for me to do tomorrow, so let me hurry up and get me 8 hours of sleep so I can get up and get on it. So to have that in mind,
Absolutely.
yeah. So to have that in mind, it encourages you to get up from where you are located in life, look forward for tomorrow to do better than what you have done yesterday.
That's awesome. And it goes, that what you just said goes right into your book, Stop, Your Dreams Are Knocking. The title itself, I think, is just awesome, because it sounds like a wake up call. That's why I named it, because it was like a wake up call to you. You told me that there was something birthed in you felt you need to bring out when you wrote the book. Tell me about that.
Yeah, yeah, I love that, because the fact is the way I came about this title, and which I think I shared with you a little bit, and how it was birthed. I was reading the story
Mm-hmm.
about Nehemiah building the walls, and he supposed to build a wall in 52 days, and this was back in 2000, and I believe it was 2017 or 19. And well, 2019, yeah. And my
Mm-hmm.
pastor gave me the opportunity, after I explained to him what I believe God placed in my heart. He gave me the opportunity to speak to the congregation. So as I was speaking to the congregation about Nehemiah rebuilding the wall in 52 days, and God is going to be rebuilding families and co-workers and friends, the people who are going to get together who haven't been together, who haven't been together in such a long time. God is reuniting them back together, within these 52 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as I was explaining that to the congregation, several people began to stand up and started sharing their dreams. And as they were sharing their dreams and what
Mm-hmm.
they believe God had told them, I've heard within me
Mm-hmm.
a small, still voice says, "Stop, your dreams are knocking." Those words, I whispered that into my
Yeah.
pastor's ear. And I said, "Pastor, I believe God just gave me the title to my new book." And when he had given me that
Mm-hmm.
title back in 2019, here it is 3 years afterwards, 2022, 9 days of what I received from God, the book was launched.
That's awesome. What would you say to a 20-year-old or 30-something-year-old that may not know God the way you do? What would you say to them in layman's terms, so to speak? Because sometimes we talk about God, some people just kind of like they don't want to be bothered, and we have to speak the lingo so that people can understand that. When you talk about God, we're not talking about religiosity. We're not talking about this stagnation of tradition. We're talking about a life of fulfillment and joy and peace. So what would you say to that person that might be listening right now you know that needs to know something according to what you are talking about in your book pertaining to God?
Well, I like this for that person, whoever that person may be listening, understand this.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, no matter who you are, where you're located in life, the color of your skin, we all have been created by God. You are carrying the Spirit of God, rather you know it or not. You are carrying the Spirit of God, and He wants to commune with you. He wants to communicate with you. And it doesn't take the four walls of a church for you to communicate with God. You can communicate with God just by a general conversation, as like we're having right now. That's how great and awesome God is, because his ears are tuned into the person he created you to be. So you don't have to be in the four walls of a building.
Absolutely.
You are free to
Mm-hmm.
worship and to talk and to listen to your God as if anyone else, like anyone else.
So if the person is sitting in a bar right now with a drink in their hand, you could tell them they're welcome to, right? They're welcome to, right?
I think you faded out. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
You just faded out.
I said, I'm sorry. It's a thunderstorm here. For the person that may be sitting in the bar right now with a drink in their hand, what you say about that? They're welcome too, right? We can all have a discussion, right?
Oh, trust me, I had many talks in the bar about about God. God,
Right.
God, He has no respect for a person. Wherever you at in life, trust me, God is right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
and that's and that's
Well,
the love of God. That's
let me ask you.
I'm sorry, it's a
Yes, go
delay.
ahead.
That's the love of God,
It's
number
okay. Go
one.
ahead.
Yeah, that's the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
God love overshadows, overturns every religious way of thinking. That's the God that I serve. That's the
Yes.
God who created us. So I can be anywhere on this earth,
So,
and He's right there listening to
mm-hmm.
me.
So tell me about the part of the book where you mentioned, you said, tell yourself that everything will be well and don't go by your emotions. I'm not quoting it quote word for word, but
Yeah,
something to that effect. Tell me about that.
yeah. Your emotions will lie to you. Your emotion doesn't tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Your emotions will have you like on a roller coaster, and here it is, you're going up and down, in and out, because the way you feel. And that's what our emotion does to it. It lies to us if we're not keyed in
Mm-hmm.
and focused on the moment. Our emotions can come in and rob us from what actually God wants us to do. And yes, you have to encourage and telling yourself that all is well. I mean, why not tell yourself all is well? Because all is well is not based on how I feel, it's based on who I know and who I trust, and that is God. So when I say tell yourself all is well, I'm telling yourself by the Spirit of God, with the help of God, because of God, no matter what is going on in your life, all is still well.
Awesome. Tell me about what we were discussing earlier. You know, you mentioned community. We set goals and reach our goals and be diligent seekers of our goals because we can set the people. Can you hear me?
You know, you just faded out. You said something about the community.
Yes, yes. Tell me about. We were talking about community earlier in our conversation, and I mentioned to you that it's important that we're diligent to seek our goals, pursue our goals. And so, tell me about what you were saying earlier about how it's important to set that standard to do things in our own community.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, your own community. Yeah, I remember that conversation. And matter of fact, I believe I stated these words that your dream is not only for you, your dream is also for those of surrounding areas, your community. Or it could be for your job. It can be for the world to solve a problem, to create something to help better lives of other people throughout the world. Your dream, your dream that God has given you. I think I went on to say it's a reminder that God hasn't forgotten you. That's how important your dream is to
And
God. Your dream has been designed not only to bring joy to you, but also to bring joy to those who surround you. And to go further than that, it will bring joy to those you don't even know.
yes, absolutely. Well, I'm going to bring Jackie Draper into the stream. We were talking about her understanding about your content. And so I just want her to ask you questions and just take it from there, Jackie.
Well, I would actually like to expand we're talking right now about day 15 in your book, in
Yes,
this book right here.
yes, yes.
And that's what you had started on here was day 15. And in here you talk about your dream could be to invent something, discover something, cure something, advance something. What about those of us who don't have dreams of grandeur?
Mm. Whatever dream you have, as based on the devotion day 15, as the title says, your dream is valuable.
Mhm.
So no matter the size of the magnificence of the dream is still a dream that's valuable to God, because he didn't give you the dream for you to waste the dream. He gave you the dream because he know that what you have in you can bring the dream to realize, to celebration. So it doesn't have to be one of those dreams where that the whole world can see it, know it, and it have benefit the world. No, the smallest dream or whatever dream he placed in you, no matter the size, it still is valuable to God.
Well, you talking here about procrastination and putting things off and waiting days and weeks and months and years to do things, and then I got to 15, and it made me think about that and the fact that my dreams may not be of grandeur to save the world. My dreams have more perhaps to do with the people in my inner circle, and I still probably face the same fears as other people who have huge dreams that stifle us. But I was wondering, whenever this said your dreams are valuable to God, are those that are not so grand as valuable? Do they still?
Yes, yes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because God seen fit that what he placed in you, he know that you can accomplish it, you can achieve it, you can do it.
Right.
That's the importance of you having that dream from God. Like I said, that dream that he placed in you, it's a reminder for you to know that he hasn't forgotten you.
Right.
We look at other people and their dreams become being accomplished and achieved, but we never look at ourselves achieving our own dreams. We have focuses more on people than focus on what really matters to me and to God. We have to shift. Matter of fact, I believe I wrote something earlier about that, and let me shift to there real quickly and say this about your dreams. Focus is the gateway to your dreams becoming celebrations. When your focus is raw, nothing regarding your dream will ever get done.
Right. Yes.
And let me say this. I said, once you tap into God's purpose, that's focus. Distraction no longer gets your attention. But you as an individual have to control that.
Right.
It has to come from you. We can have all the tools and things to help us. But hey, look, we need to set our mind on what really matters and get the work and getting it done. So rather your dream is big or small, it's still valuable and it still matters to God, and it should matter to you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes. You have any more questions, Jackie?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
No?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I will bring you back up in a few.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me say this for a second to Jackie.
Okay.
Jackie.
Brian. Sure. Go ahead. She can hear you.
Oh, Jackie,
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
your dream is part of the big puzzle. We need you to accomplish that dream so those around you will receive the joy as well.
Wow. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. That is awesome. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're going to keep on pushing through. Jackie, let's see. Let me pull her back up for a second. We're going to keep on pushing through.
Oh, yes, this is awesome.
Jackie, can you hear me? Okay. Well, we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep on pressing through.
Yes.
And it's important that we, like you said, we fulfill our goals, because that joy is joy for someone else as well as us.
Right.
You heard him, right, Jackie?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Okay. Yes. So, okay, I'm going to pull someone else into the stream. And Jackie, if you have any more questions, I'll pull you back up once again.
Okay.
Jamie Scott. Let's see here. Do you have any questions? Are you there?
She has a mic mute.
I'm here. I do not have any questions.
You don't have any questions? Okay. Montez is here. I'm going to pull you up, Montez, so that you can ask the author some questions.
Hi, how are you?
Well, and you, hello, how you doing?
It's great to meet you. I haven't had a chance to read your book yet, but
I think you are muted, Montez.
No, I can hear her.
Oh, you can hear her? Okay.
She's muted now.
Let's just try this again. We're going to work it out. This is what it's about. Perseverance, right? We got to work through all things. So it's a thunderstorm where I am. And so I don't know if that has to do with the, let's see here. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see. All right, should be coming up now.
Oh, she's there.
I'm there. I think
good.
The storm is giving you a little lag.
Yeah, delayed. Yeah.
Yeah, it is delayed.
But that's all right. This is awesome. We're working through it. We're working through
Yes.
it.
Okay,
Yes,
so
we are.
Montez, why don't you, if you can, put your question in the chat, or maybe I'll pull someone else up in the meantime. And
I can hear her, SB. She's sounding good.
Oh, you can? Oh, okay.
He can hear me.
You can go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Scott. I guess my first question would be, what are some of the tools that you use to motivate yourself every day?
Well, my first and foremost, I spend quiet time with God. I have to do that. That's the first thing. And then along with that, knowing what I'm set out to do that day, and I do have a job that 8 hours, but in between lunchtime breaks or what it may be, I'm always writing something with my pen, a notebook, a piece of paper. I'm jotting things down that's running through my mind. And then later on that day, I will look at it to see what I jotted down and see what can I work with it.
Okay.
Everything is workable. It's just that you have to put the time in to work it.
Understood. And how long did it take you to finish your book?
3 years.
Okay.
Three years. I have a great support. I'm my wife and my children. Oh man, especially my oldest daughter. She's the head one. I mean, I have a great support. Because what I've learned is the fact is you have gifts that surrounds you that's there to support and help you.
Mm-hmm.
When you overlook your surrounding and look on the outside for help, you're missing it.
Right.
Because right at your hand, God placed people in your life to help you as you will be helping them. So I use a great deal of my family, my extended family. I look at their lives and conversations, even work, or even on an early morning drive to work. I'm always focusing on what I need to do in regards to writing my book.
Okay, awesome. And are you working on another book?
I kind of jotted some stuff down, and I'm not clear on what I'm going to write about. She hold up something. Oh, that's my first book, and all you can get understanding. So yeah, that was my first book. The book I have now, thank you, SB. The book I have now, to stop your dreams are knocking, is my second book. And yes, there's a third book that I kind of like jotted down some stuff, but I haven't pursued it yet because I'm trying to put more effort into this second book of trying to get it out there worldwide.
Okay. And where can I find the second book?
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's called
Stop Your Dreams Are Knocking.
Stop Your Dreams Are Knocking. I'll be getting that today.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. But you know what? Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What are you sitting on that your heart desire wants right now?
I guess healing, which I feel like I'm going through. I'm a new widow. I recently lost my husband. We were together for 26 years. So I'm in the process of healing and just starting the next chapter of my life. Do I have dreams? Yes. A bunch of them. It keeps me going every day.
Yeah.
But I am allowing myself some time to figure it out because everything's, different, without my partner.
I understand to a certain degree. I will say this: the book that you're about to buy and read is it's a conversational book. It's just me coming right alongside, giving you a gentle push to encourage you to the finish line of your celebrations.
Awesome. I'm so glad to meet you. I will be ordering my book tonight. And look forward to hopping on again and discussing, some of the gems that I got from the book.
Right. So let me shift hats for a moment. I want to speak a blessing of God's peace, comfort, and healing over your life. And may you be encouraged by the Spirit of God every morning you wake up. Yes. In Jesus' name.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Montez.
Thank you.
I see that there is. Can we all mute our mic, not speaking, because there's some interruption somewhere? I appreciate that. Pat Williams. Let's see. Do you have a question? I don't think she's there. No. Okay. D. Walker. Are you there? No. Not there. Okay. I'm going to pull Jackie back up. Dennis, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because she has another question.
Okay.
All right.
I'm in and out.
Okay. Let's see. So let me ask you this while I'm waiting. Tell me about Vision Without Action is a Daydream. Tell me about that.
Yeah. I had many of those in my lifetime. Where that I sat and I just daydream about different things, and I just daydream about it, and I found myself in the daydream of not writing down what I was thinking during the time, which wasted
Mhm.
valuable time because I didn't put that daydream into a moment of taking something from it. Whenever you spend time in anything, it should be something there for you to receive. If
Right.
not, then it becomes a waste of our time. So our daydreaming, there's some things in that daydreaming of whatever people do and how they daydream, meditate, or whatever it may be. There's something there for you to grab, to take note, to jot it down, and then later on you can revisit it and see what you can gain from it.
Right.
Because
Vision without light.
many of us can daydream, and we're daydream and get lost in the daydream and have and based on that we didn't accomplish anything from it.
Right. Right. Jackie, you have another question?
Well, on this same topic, how about elaborate more on when you said action without vision is a nightmare?
Yeah.
How does that?
Action without vision. Yeah. Because the fact, well, put it like this: faith without works is dead, number one. So therefore, if you have a vision and you don't put forth the work and the vision that you have, it becomes a nightmare. And then later on, it becomes a regret in your life because you never took forth the action and pushing the vision forward. Let me say this, Jackie, since you brought that up, and you guys might be one of the first ones. I share this a little bit in one of the men's group that I'm a part of at church. But I was saying I had a dream one time, and I was asking God about regrets of life. And as I was asking about regrets of life, it looks like he took me all the way to the end and had me look back. And as I looked back, there were some gates closed and there were some gates open. The closed gates was there for me not to go through. But the open gates, it was for me to go through. But what happened was I used excuses to prevent me from going through an open gate. And the excuses that I was using, and I'm just talking off my head, is the fact is the gate was open, but that gate could not be open for me because I couldn't see myself going through it. I look more or less about me than what God can do in me and through me. Excuses robs us from the vision.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Well, we live our lives all day, every day, making excuses for all kinds of things, for ourselves, for the people we love. We make excuses all the time. And it's hard to basically what I got out of the book is be conscious, be in the moment, be present, stop letting everything go and just getting through the day. Be purposeful and focus and do what needs to be done, basically. And the other thing I wanted to talk about when talking about do what needs to be done is the mindfulness section, the mental toughness section. Sorry. Your page on mental toughness.
Yeah.
30 something.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing some serious reading. Yeah. Mental toughness. It comes from the mind. It comes from it comes from the mind of Christ. And not to be, religious, but it comes from the mind because his mind is your mind, meaning you are more capable of handling anything that comes your way. You just have to think the way the word of God, the way the Bible tells us to think. Anything outside of our thinking that has nothing to do with God, it robs us. Those are the excuses that we use. So your mental toughness comes from the mind of Christ, where you are capable of doing and handling whatever comes into your life. You can do it.
I believe that 100%.
Yes. Yeah, that's good because you can. And
Absolutely.
I see you, Jackie. I see you at the finish line. You just need to gather your thoughts, and anything that does not coincide and line up to where you're trying to go to,
Right.
cast it down, let it go, and keep trusting God as you move forward.
Right.
And I say this, your faith with God, all things are possible.
Yes.
Your faith with God, all things are possible. So those dreams that you believe God placed in you, they are waiting on you, Jackie. They are possible
They are.
because you have the faith to see it to the finish line and celebrate. Not only you, but those around you will be celebrating as well.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. And and I just want to say this to those that may be listening and watching. When we talk about God, we're talking about living. We're not talking from a place of religiosity. We're talking about living. When we talk about God, we're talking about living, because, me and you were saying earlier, Dennis, we were talking about it's a freedom when you pursue your goals, absolute freedom. Talk about that, Dennis. That freedom when you pursue your goals.
We keep ourselves in a prison waiting on approval to get out. And God have already proved us and freed us to get out to do what he placed in our heart to do. We have to get out of the religious mindset of we have to get permission and wait on someone to do something when actually God is actually waiting on you to just go out and do what he told you to do. What's in your heart to do is for you and is designed for you. You don't need anybody's permission. You just need to release your faith, trust God, and get to it. That's the freedom you have.
So Dennis, when you talk about, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. When you talk about freedom, because see, I just want to target this. When we talk about God, we're talking about that help. See, and we're talking about taking action. But when we refer to God, we're talking about that extra help. What you say, Dennis? That extra help is God, right? Because we got to take action to do whatever it is we're going to do. But that extra help comes from God, because with God, the thing you wouldn't do, with God, you can do. What you say, Dennis?
Oh, absolutely. The help comes from that. The extra help or the help itself, it comes from God. And here it is. Here it is. I wrote this down, and you got to get this. The help that you receive from God, it comes through people God placed in your surroundings. The help that you receive from God comes through the people God set around you to help you to reach the finish line of your dream, goals, and desires.
Absolutely.
Let me say it like this. You need people, the right people around you to support you. All Absolutely. Right. I said because you don't know everything, right? You don't have enough time and energy to do everything. And you don't have all the gifts and talents to do what you need to do for your dream. We neglect the help based on what we see people by seeing God in people. And the people that we neglect to see, trust me, those can be the main one God sent there to help you. But you got to discern and know that. That's nothing religious, but you have to know, okay, God, if this is my help, show me, bring some clarity of the help that I need, that I can use this person in my life to help me to a certain level, and then I can move to the next level. Mm-hmm. Me putting this book together, it took some help. I couldn't do this all by myself. I had Esby, she came along in her business, and she helped me with, with the wording of certain things and the format and the pictures. My daughter, my son, They were there most of the time. The proofread, spell check. I had a co-worker who proofread my whole book. I didn't even know this person, but I asked her and she volunteered to do it. I found the publisher through another person in South Carolina. If you don't ask questions regarding what you want to do in life, you won't do it. So when we say God is our help, yeah, it's God helping us through the people He placed around us, because He's a spirit.
Yes, indeed. And once again, I just want to give this notice out that we are experiencing all kinds of technical difficulties, but
Yes.
You know what? We're going to keep going, and we're going to be here every week. Yes, indeed, because SB Favorite Thinking Podcast ain't going nowhere. We're going to keep on pushing, and it's going to get better and better and better. And for those that are listening and watching, guess what? SB Favorite Thinking Podcast we're going forward. So, Dennis, everything you said is absolutely awesome. And I wanted to also ask you about the journaling part of the book. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, that's one of the most important parts of each devotion that's read throughout the day, is the fact is the journaling part, the part where you sit down, and I put a time there, 5 to 7 minutes, but it can be longer than that. Where you sit down and you talk to God, you ask God questions, and whatever you feel, the sense that comes into your mind, your spirit, you write that down. You write it down, and then later on throughout that day, that week, month, or whatever, you can always go back and ask God the same question based on what you believe He said to you. Because whatever it was that He said that coincide with that devotion is there to help your dream, goals, and desires to the finish line. And not only that, it's to benefit you in life. So writing down and spending that quiet time in prayer, nothing religious and old thou and all. Nah, you write down and talk to God in that moment as if like we're talking right now.
Amen. Amen.
I love it. I love writing notes, even in a service.
Yeah.
Church,
I'm glad you.
I take down notes.
I'm glad you mentioned, the word religious in that way, because so many people sometimes think you can just pray and things are just going to happen. But we have a responsibility to take action. We have a responsibility to do our part when it comes to initiating what needs to be done for things. So, Dennis, I want to talk about focus. You mentioned focus earlier, and I just wanted to talk one a little bit so that people can have clarification of how we need to be focused in the process of achieving our goals.
Yes, I think earlier, and I wrote it down, I said in regards to focus, I said focus is the gateway to your dreams becoming realized. And then I went on to say, in fact, someone said focus is the key to effective life. When your focus, when you allow things to rob your focus, nothing in your life will ever get done. Because your focus has shifted to something far less than what really matters to you. So when you find your mind drifting away, or when you find other things that's trying to pull you, see, you as an individual, you have the power to stop that and say, no, I'm not going to do that. I need to do this, and I need to do this now and get it done and out of the way. Because focus is, put it like this, distraction, the opposite of being focused on something, it robs you from what really matters in your life to do today. And if you're not focused on what really matters, any distraction comes your way will pull you from that which you should be doing from the first time you started doing it. So you gotta focus. No one can focus for you. Yeah, you have to focus for yourself. So, and speaking of that, why do we allow other things to rob our focus? Why do we allow things to rob our focus? When our hearts are set out to do something, when our minds telling us this is what we need to do, something comes along to distract the focus and we allow it. Why do we do that? Do we look less at ourselves? Do we look as if what we want to do is less important than that which robs us from through the distraction to be more important? Focus is the gateway to key to effective lifestyle.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about generationally. Why is it so important to achieve our goals from a generational point of view?
Achieving your goals is motivation for the next generation. It's motivation for those around you. Because those who closest to you that know you and see you accomplishing what you've been set out to do, it should do nothing more but motivate them to say, I can do it too. Just think about it. Your close camaraderie, your network, those who know you, your past, and everything that you have dealt with in life, gone through in life, when they see you accomplishing things in life based on what they know, it can't do nothing but motivate them. In fact, I look at it as if, wow, a miracle was happening right before my eyes, unaware. Because you know that person and what they're achieving could not have done that by themselves. It had to take God in them, the initiative of them, to do what their hearts are set out to do. And you know what? That does help generations. Because what I'm doing now, I'm setting up seed for my children's children that hopefully will help them in their time, that they can look back and look on grandpa and say, look, this is where he's at. He set the table. All we got to do is add our flavor, our ingredients, and take it to the next level. I say this to my children. I say each generation should outdo the last generation. Not in the comparison, but because it was set up for us to do better, we should do better. So by me accomplishing my dreams, goals, and desires, all I'm doing is setting up the generation behind me to give them some type of motivation so that they can do it too. And you know what else, Jackie? What happens with that? It kind of defeats the excuses that they too will most likely have in life. It can defeat those excuses, saying if grandpa or uncle or aunt can do it, and I can do it too. No excuses.
Well, it's our responsibility to pass on that knowledge and even pass on our failures. I think a lot of times people don't want to talk about their failures with their kids and their family, but there's a lot to learn from your failures. So
absolutely.
Tired of passing on the knowledge. Absolutely.
Yeah, the failure is just a setup for your celebration.
Right.
And you have to have the mindset to think that.
Yes.
You learn from what not to do now. This time, okay, we tried that. It doesn't work. Let's try this.
Yeah. Because even with my first book, I'm not calling it a failure, but there were some things that I haven't done with my first book that I'm doing with my second book. And the reason I'm doing it with my second book, because I learned to do better with the second book versus the first book.
Right. When you know better, you do better.
We're going to promote this. We're going to promote the first book. This is the first book right here. And you can find it on Amazon. Dennis Scott and All Your Give Understanding. This is the first book. Very inspiring book. Another great book. Jackie, hold up the current book. Stop. Your Dreams Are Knocking. Both books are on Amazon. And we encourage you listeners and to purchase those books, and you will be inspired, because in the hour that we live in, we have to grab hold of content to lift us up, build us up, and most importantly, we have to pray. Thank you so much for being here. We got to do it again. This topic is very important. Keep achieving your goals. All of us have goals. All of us should have goals. Long-term goals, short-term goals. We all should have something to look forward to. What you say, Dennis?
Absolutely. Small, big, medium, it doesn't matter. Just achieve what's been on your heart to do. That's what you want to do.
Yes. Just
achieve what has been on your heart to do. If it's to take a trip somewhere, if it's to if it is to build a train set, or if whatever it is, set the goal and accomplish it. Bring the fulfillment of the joy of God in your life, that your joy can spread to other lives.
Absolutely, because that's what living is all about. Living is to be an asset to someone else's life better. We're not supposed to be liabilities to one another. We are supposed to be an asset to someone else. Also, before we end this episode, I want to also mention the dancer Twitch that passed away earlier this week. I just want to acknowledge and remind people to pray for his family, his wife, his children. During this time of year, sometimes people suffer from different types of depression and sadness, and we just want to not forget the importance of prayer and the importance of, being sensitive to the next person during this season. So I just wanted to mention that. Montez, do you have any more questions?
No, just thank you for inviting me.
Let's pull
And
her up.
it was a pleasure speaking with Mr. Scott.
What's that?
And I've already. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It was a pleasure speaking with you. A pleasure meeting you. As I said, I've already bought the book, and I look forward to reading it. And thank you for the encouragement.
Thank you, and thank you for your support. And as I believe that God's peace is with you, my sister.
Sabronica, I see Sabronica over there. Do you have any questions, Sabronica?
No questions. Just really happy to be here and proud of you, Dad, for the book you wrote.
Oh, yes, she is. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. She's my oldest. She's the one basically helps me through most of
Awesome.
my writing.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Jackie, do you have any more questions?
I don't have any questions, but I did want to speak to the audience that is wondering if this is a book that they could get something out of. My personal opinion, what I get out of it is, if you're a person who, you're supposed to do something, you're not sure what it is, and your mind is cluttered, your life is cluttered, you have things going on that is preventing life. It's preventing you from seeing your dream. You have a dream, you just don't know necessarily what it is. This is a good book to help you clear the clutter. And it is a good book in the sense, especially because it's, I don't know if you can see it in here, but it's day by day. So you can take it day by day, and it can help get you into a program, get you focused, and clear the clutter. As Dennis puts it, your situational awareness. Did I say that right? That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that situation awareness. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's good for anybody who is you have a dream, or maybe you know what it is, but you're not focused, it's not drilled down, you don't have a plan. This gives you a day by day with note writing every day. And then you can focus. And then by the time you're finished with the 40 days, you go back and look at your notes, and you'll clear the clutter. You'll have it going. You're ready to go.
Outstanding.
Great. It's a great book, Dennis.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. And Dennis, I just want to thank you once again for taking the time to share this good inspirational content. And I want to remind people once again to buy your book at Amazon, Stop Your Dreams Are Knocking by author Dennis Scott. And the first book is on Amazon as well. And All You're Getting, Get Understanding by Dennis Scott. That's the first book. And so, Dennis, I got to have you back again. And like I said, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with the viewers?
Yes, the final thing I'd like to share, and what I believe, because of our faith with God, all things are possible, is the fact that by you going over the book now in December 2022, it's setting you up for an amazing 2023 of your dreams becoming celebrated. Just wanted you guys to know that.
Okay, listeners, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. You can share, leave me some feedback. And like I said, share the podcast with others. I'm on, of course, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I'm all over. If you have an issue finding me, just Google SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I'm going to be here on YouTube every Thursday. This is my first video broadcast, but I will be here doing much talking about some good stuff. No gossip, no negative stuff here. I'm just going to talk about the things that really matter, because we are living in an hour where we need to make things count for something good. So you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at sbfavor. I have a TikTok handle as well. There is motivational and inspirational content there. I'm not dancing, no, but there is some good stuff over there. So make sure that you follow me there as well. And like I said, make sure you share this podcast with others. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, SB Favor. And if you are uncomfortable using the application, just contact me and I will give you instructions on how you can support the podcast. If you would like to drop me an email to share your thoughts about the podcast, or if you have any ideas, I'm open to that too. So like I said, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. Thank you so much for listening and viewing the podcast. You have a good day. And thank you, Dennis, for being with us today. The content is so necessary, and I appreciate family. All right, listeners and viewers, talk to you soon.